let's just get right into this. Before we get into like the big stuff, I want to talk about some of the smaller stuff, like some updates on the coronavirus. Or I was not supposed to say that because YouTube, like, I don't get monetized by them anyways, but YouTube demonetizes any video that talks about that.
Some updates on the virus, on
Yeah, on
the big
COVID
V, the
19.
big CV. Exactly.
Um, right after I uploaded my that podcast, three movies by Disney were delayed, that being Mulan, New Mutants, and Antlers. And then, like, just yesterday, they also delayed Black Widow, which,
Yeah,
was
that one was pretty big, but I mean,
that
I
that, that
understand
one
why
that
they
one
did
hurt me
that.
because I don't got no
Mm-hmm.
Marvel movie coming out by my birthday this year now.
Yeah.
Um, and I believe the new Saw movie has been delayed as well.
Oh yeah.
And
But
yeah, as for WrestleMania, it's going on without a crowd, which is going to be really weird. I talked about that during the podcast.
and
Um,
every other single this has already happened, but every other single sports league has been
yeah,
canceled or
um,
postponed or
I made a mistake last episode. I said like March Madness is going on without a crowd. That was like no, it's not. It's not going on at all. Um, but the most interesting thing is the movie delays. We got like um specifically the four ones by Disney. Mulan, New Mutants, and Antlers. Um, and recently Black Widow as well. That is okay. That's a lot of stuff. Look, I here's what I think. Mulan and Black Widow are way too big to go on Disney Plus. Antlers
mm-hmm.
is like it's small enough to be on Disney Plus, but it's like a fucking like brutal and like horrible movie to and that
So they'll probably put it on like Hulu or something like that, or one of
either
their
that or it's just
other
gonna
20 streaming things.
either that or it's just gonna be in theaters later, which is probably most likely. But
Mm-hmm.
uh I feel really bad for New Mutants. That's gotten delayed so many times. Like the first trailer I think dropped in like I don't even know, 2017 I think. 16. So I feel really bad for Antlers. Not Antlers, New Mutants. Just that one just released on Disney Plus. Um
I mean,
Raptor.
yeah, like, yeah.
Oh no, what were we
Sorry,
gonna
we're just
say?
having a little
What were we gonna say?
Discord trouble here. Yeah, I remember seeing New Mutants in like the trailer for, and I mean, besides how I was scared because I was seeing some PG Marvel movie, only to see a horror movie, and I just was not expecting it. But it just looked really interesting and like a
Yeah.
really cool take on a franchise that's been done and done again. And it's just kind of sad that it's just been pushed back all these years and
Yeah,
all these
honestly,
times.
yeah, just released on Disney Plus. If it was still rated R, it's actually gonna be PG-13. But if it was rated
Huh.
R, then no, don't put it on Disney Plus. Kind of like Antlers. Don't never that would never be on Disney Plus. Um, New Mutants, just put it there. I mean, you're not gonna make back the budget, but like give it a break. So,
Mm-hmm.
anything else you'd like to add there?
I mean, yeah, I think that this would just be a great time for them to use their streaming site because, I mean, that's where everyone goes now.
Yeah,
If you can't go to the movie theater, you just stream movies at home, sitting wherever you want and just watching without having to go outside.
yeah. There's
So
a
they'd be finally using their streaming service.
yeah. There's actually something some news like that we'll talk about later. But uh all right. So that's yeah. The Disney Plus doesn't really have much of anything right now. Like they got the Mandalorian, and they also are doing the final season of the Clone Wars. But that's really it. That's all they're doing. They don't have any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They
I
don't
was
have.
like thinking about that, how most of the new stuff they have is directed at kids and most of like the teen stuff for the major like money makers for older audiences hasn't really gotten anything yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So
they did a.
people are probably going to cancel their subscriptions.
I mean, recently, I wanted to very briefly talk about this. They recently came out with this movie Stargirl on there, and just because it's free and everything, I watched it. I, it's fine. It wasn't stupid like that Timmy Failure movie, but this movie, I mean, the message that it gives at the end is confusing. Like, it sort of seems like, yeah, be yourself, but then it also says something along the lines of like, or meaning something along the lines of like, don't like basically only worry about yourself, like don't care about others. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
strange. Yeah, movies
What
like
is it
this,
called?
Stargirl.
Oh, that was a book by like the guy that I read all the books of when I was littler. I
Uh,
don't know. I've just heard that was a book before, and I didn't read it, but I like have it.
yeah. So it's. I mean, it's not the characters aren't like either stupid or assholes like how they were in Timmy Failure. But it's I'm not gonna remember anything that happened in this movie. So moving
Mm-hmm.
on. Briefly, I don't have this on the list, but I just also want to very briefly mention this. There was actually Ramkit. Did you even know that there was a PS5 presentation today?
Wait, what? Actually,
It's not what you think, though. It was just about the
I doubt it.
specs. It's just about the
Uh,
specs. I was bored, so bored that like I didn't want to do a live reaction because like I found out about it, like 30 minutes before it was going to premiere. So I was doing like a non-live reaction, but I got so bored. I got so bored I just stopped it. I just didn't finish watching it. Basically, it's just a boring video about the PS5 specs, and it was just a lot of that fucking. I don't even know.
specs.
I don't even know if we got like an actual look at the PS5. I think we did. It kind of looks like the PS4. It looks like a different model of the PS4, but I like the PS4 model though. So, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that both. I mean, I guess Xbox has done a little more, but the one thing that really makes or breaks like any console for me is whether or not the games and like the features of it. Because at the end of the day, if the Xbox is in like has higher specs and higher resolution, like it looks better, I'm not really gonna care if the PS5 has all these better games and it's just more fun to use.
yeah, about the Xbox. Apparently, the Series X is supposed to be more powerful than the PS5. So
The PS5.
yeah. Um, So yeah, another thing I want to briefly talk about is the Nintendo Indie World showcase. I did actually do a live reaction to this one yesterday. Um, it was a nice little showcase. I don't really remember most of the games on there though. Ramkit, did you watch this?
No, I mean, I like kind of looked at like highlights of it, but I didn't watch it. I
Yeah.
definitely heard about it though.
Um, the most notable game on there was definitely Exit the Gungeon, the sequel to Enter the Gungeon, which is a really good but like really hard game. But uh, so I really don't really remember a whole lot that happened in there. I remember there's this one game with like an anime art style that I thought looked really cool, and then there's this other game by the same people behind No Man's Sky. So um, yeah, that was really it. Um, Another thing I want to briefly talk about is the recently. I wanted to have this as one like the bigger topics, but like I don't know. A lot of like places have talked about this and everything, but recently it's been announced that uh, while they couldn't get a Last of Us movie going, there's going to be a Last of Us HBO series. Um, what are your thoughts on that, Ramkit?
Now, for what I like, for one thing, it's actually by the person that did Chernobyl.
Yeah,
That was like incredibly received, and I mean, I think that kind of like The Witcher, this is like a very good story to make a TV about. It's like a zombie horror that's all about the characters, and it like shouldn't be very hard to translate it to film medium.
yeah.
And I just
They were
mostly I
trying to
just
make a
hope it's
movie.
good.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
for years they were trying to get a Last of Us movie. And I think it might have actually worked better as a movie. I'm not quite sure how they can prolong this for like a series, but I'm interested to see like what they do. I'm interested to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's not a whole lot to say there. Anything else you'd like to add? Um,
I hope it's good.
yeah.
That's all I can really say. That's all
Um,
I really hope for.